Hi there, Dr. Debbie here, and welcome to another dose of Dr. Debbie as part of the From Betrayal to Breakthrough podcast. You know, this has been coming up a lot within the PBT Institute, so I wanted to bring it up because I have a feeling this may serve you. So often, we want to move towards forgiveness. We've heard forgiveness is for us, not the other person. We've heard we'll feel so much better when we forgive, and we struggle with it so much. So I'm going to talk about today the difference between moving towards acceptance versus forgiveness. So if you're struggling with forgiveness, give yourself a big sigh of relief, because maybe acceptance is an easier way to go. So that's the topic for today. And, just to break down forgiveness a little bit, yes, we've heard it's in our best interest to forgive because it's true. We release the pain and the power that this has had over us. So that's a benefit. We struggle though with it because we think, if we forgive, are we setting ourselves up for it to happen again? Are we a sucker? Are we a pushover? And withholding forgiveness also gives us a sense of control. When we've been betrayed, when we've been lied to, deceived, life spins out of control. And we want to grab onto anything that gives us a feeling like, okay, we have the reins, we're getting some measure of control back into our lives. And withholding forgiveness, believe it or not, can feel like one of the things that we have control over. So there are so many reasons why we would withhold forgiveness. Also, our ego, let's face it, our egos are badly bruised. And withholding forgiveness gives us a sense of power, like, you know what, I'll show you, kind of thing. And that's just our ego talking. It's been badly bruised and it's flexing its muscle a bit. But here's the thing. Yes, forgiveness is all about us. Yes, it releases the power of the pain that it has over us. Yes, it prevents us from spending so much time on the past and harnesses that time so that we could work towards the future. That's the idea. We want to heal, and we give ourselves the best possible opportunity when we forgive. It's not about them, it's about us. And the biggest difference, I would say, is when it comes to forgiveness, that's largely about us. When it comes to reconciliation, that's largely about the other person. You still don't have to do anything if you don't want to. But when it comes to forgiveness, it really doesn't matter what's going on the other end of it. It doesn't matter if they agree. It doesn't matter if they apologize. It doesn't matter if there's deep regret, remorse, apology, guilt, all of these things. It really doesn't matter. It's about us. And it's that release we feel when we do forgive. It's interesting. I really thought forgiveness was going to be this one big grand ta-da moment. No, it's layers and stages. And I remember even in my own journeys with both of my betrayals, you forgive, you take it back. You forgive, you take it back. You forgive, you take it back. And that was really, I was working through my ego that whole time. And when we really forgive, you truly feel free. But if you're not ready for that, I see so often where people try to forgive too early and it backfires every time. So check the reasons why you want to forgive. If the reason is because you just want this over with, you just want to put it behind you, but you haven't really processed it, it's going to backfire. And I remember reading one study when I was doing the study on betrayal, and the study said, if you feel safe and valued and you forgive, you feel better. If you do not feel safe and valued and you forgive, you feel worse. So take a look at your own situation. Are you forgiving just to get it over with, just to put it behind you, just because it's too chaotic if you're not going along with everything? Take a look at your intentions, why you want to forgive, because I'll tell you, there were 3 groups in the study who did not heal. And the group where the betrayer had very little consequences, whether it was out of financial fear, religious reasons, that was a big one, not wanting to break up a family, fear of change, fear of the unknown, whatever it was, they just try to put it behind them. I only saw 2 things with this one group. Number 1, a further deterioration of the relationship. And 2, this group by far was the most physically sick. Your broken heart can't handle that. So be aware of the reason why you're choosing to forgive. But here's what I want to offer. If forgiveness feels too challenging right now for where you are, an alternative is acceptance. And with acceptance, it's that again, that's just for you. But what that does is it gets you out of this lock, out of this holding pattern. And with acceptance, it's one of the biggest needle movers moving us. I talk about the 5 stages from betrayal to breakthrough. And when we are in stage 3, which is the most common place to get stuck, most people land there and stay there. One of the greatest ways to move yourself forward, even just a little bit, is acceptance. And one of the classic things that I saw when people would move from stage 3 to stage 4, it's because they were accepting their scenario. You can't, this was where they said, I can't undo my betrayal, but I can control what I do with it. And here's where that acknowledgement, right? That acceptance moved them forward, because the stage 3 people, the ones who were stuck in stage 3, they were like, nope, I am not accepting this. I have my story and I'm sticking with it. And you've heard me talk about, and if you want me, let me know if you want me to talk more about stage 3, because this is the stage we don't even realize it. We wind up getting stuck in, and transformation doesn't even happen till stages 4 and stage 5. Anyway, when we want to move out of that perpetual holding pattern, we need to accept where we are. And that's actually what stage 4 is, finding and accepting a new normal. Here's where you acknowledge, I cannot undo my experience, but I can control what I do with it. And I'll tell you, I see this so often now in this whole time period that we're going through, with COVID and everything else. There are some people, and I'm not minimizing COVID at all. I had it. I've lost people I've loved. I am not minimizing it at all. What I'm saying here, though, is there are some people who look at this time period and they say, oh my gosh, the COVID-15, I gained all this weight. I haven't been social. I haven't been able to get out of my house. It's the worst thing ever, right? And then there are the other people who they've accepted this is what is. So what can I do with it? So some people are like, you know what, I finally have the time to clean out my house. All those closets I've been neglecting. I finally have a chance to be on Zoom, FaceTime, connect on the phone. I can be more social than ever. I don't even have the travel time. I can go from one call to the next, right? I only have to iron or steam the front of my shirts, whatever it is for you. So I could be closer to my family. I could spend more quality time, right? Those are the people that are accepting. Those are the people that are moving forward, where the other people are just kicking and screaming and staying stuck. And, it reminds me of you're looking at the cherry blossoms behind me here, a strong tree, right? Think about what happens. The strength in the tree isn't that it's rigid and unbending. Rigid and unbending, you break, right? It's the real strength is when there's a little bit of flexibility, there's a little bit of acceptance, of movement, right? It's the tree that's flexible. It's the tree that bends. That's the one that withstands all the storms. It's the one that is so rigid and unbending. That's the one that breaks. So if you find forgiveness is way too big of a stretch for you right now, and I get it. I appreciate it. I understand exactly where you are. You have every right to stay stuck. You have your story. You've been wronged. You've been duped. You've been lied to. You've been betrayed. I get it. I've been there. It has nothing in the world to do with that other person. It has everything to do with making you feel better. Forgiveness makes you feel better. But if you're not ready for it, what I would love you to consider is acceptance, where it's a step closer. And it's just a step closer to your freedom, where you're realizing I cannot undo this experience, but I control what I do with it. So I hope that helps, and check in with me next time. I'm going to give you all kinds of tips, tools, strategies to move past this. Now, if you like the show, subscribe, rate, and review so you don't miss an episode. Share it with your friends, anybody who could benefit. And if you'd like to try a chapter of Trust Again, Overcoming Betrayal, Regaining Health, Confidence, and Happiness, you can find that. It's my free gift at the PBT, as in post-betrayal transformation, thepbtinstitute.com/free gift. Grab a sample copy there, see if you like it. And if you want to get the whole book, don't just get it from Amazon. get it from this special link because this way you can get the book plus a lot of bonuses. So that link is thepbtinstitute.com/trust again. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.